Uh, uh, GM.
Buenos dias, amigo. Sí.
Sí. ¿Cómo estás? Did I get it? Did I
Está
do
bien.
it?
Sí, está bien.
Feeling
great.
Muy bien. GM, ya degens. Yes, GM Illumim. I thought you changed your name. Did you change it back?
Vinny, Illuminati.
Vinny. Ashtray. Grand Risings, Alpha fam. Hype for the Star Wolves reveal today. Yes, we are very much too. Woo! Base 2. Mo Nabis. What's going on, guys? The gang has arrived. You're going through a midlife crisis, aren't we all?
Speak for yourself.
You don't know the car that I just bought.
Yeah.
Fuck, I actually got pulled over yesterday. Bringing my dog back from the groomers yesterday afternoon.
How do the Mounties even catch up to a motorized vehicle on that horse? I don't
Those
even
horses are fucking fast, man.
You just stop for that. You just, so polite. They give you a wave from the side. You guys are like, all right.
Oh yeah, hey, you're going a little bit fast there, right, bud? Yeah. You want to just slow her down for us, eh?
Mm-hmm.
No, here in Ontario, our lovely government decided to put out license plates that were not very good quality, and they start to peel. And when they peel, you can't really see your license plate number. Now, mine has been going through that for a little bit. It got bad lately, but I've been neglecting it because I don't drive much anymore. I go from point A to point B very briefly. And during COVID, honestly, it's been so hard to get the stuff replaced, yada, 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 that, people have been pretty lenient. They finally decided that leniency is off the table now. And it's cool. It wasn't a super extensive fine. I got to say, the guy was very, very nice. So a shout out, officer, if you're out there listening. I doubt it, but appreciate it. And so now, I have a small fine to pay.
The regular
show. He didn't recognize me when he pulled me over, so I don't know. What was I gonna say? Oh, I don't know. The worst part about it was that I had just picked up a burrito bowl. Had a lot of running around to do. Didn't feel like cooking. It was sitting there, and it was just going cold. Let's just speed this up a little bit here. I want my lunch. Anyways, I live to see another day. How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
I'm feeling this music, actually. It's kind of just like, it's got some vibe to it, Yeah. GM from DC, what's going on? Strictly 3 Sports. Hermano, how you doing, man? Hermano, are you still with the project formerly known as Catbricks Clubhouse, CBC?
Yeah.
I know you guys are still working on that. Yeah, man. What a night.
What a night.
We had it was interesting. You know what? Honestly, we could touch on this right now. No problems there. In Star Wolves, we were supposed to have the reveal yesterday. As with NFTs and Web3 and all these moving parts, sometimes things don't go according to plan. And yesterday did not go according to plan. But we had Tropics running a set on stage in the Discord, in the Star Wolves Discord, and that was a lot of fun. I've been to some of his in the past, but he's good at getting the pack all riled up. The chat was just going absolutely nuts for the better part of 2 hours. We had our resident fire spitter Shiggy Shaman come up. And unbeknownst to us, we didn't really think it through because he was rapping over the beat that Tropics was playing, and there is like a split second delay, you know what I mean? So everything was just a little bit off, but he fucking killed it.
Amazing.
That was so fun, man. That guy is crazy talented, and yeah, I would buy album. Woo! But the reveal is looking like it should be going down today. Needed an extra 24 hours, get things smoothed out, sorted out, make sure that it's great. And I've been on the other side of projects that have had delays and stuff like that, and I typically, try to be understanding. We talked about this with Raid Party. We talked about this with Cool Pets. Cool Pets had a little less leeway, just because, it was an already big existing product with a large team and stuff like that. But I mean, again, you want to put out a good product. Raid Party sat on the sidelines for the better part of a month while they revamped and whatnot. And the results were really good. But people get real riled up over it. And I get it. You go out there, you spend some money on something you consider an investment and whatnot. But by and large, I got to say, people were great last night. So if you were part of that and you were listening, believe that it is incredibly appreciated. You guys are fucking awesome.
We love people. Sergio, is that true? Are NFTs picking up in Brazil? Shout out to Brazil. I got family.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of people down there.
Yeah.
Heard great things about the country.
Yes.
Looks beautiful. Cool. Gotta figure that out.
Yeah. Tell us what part of Brazil you're from, Sergio, when you have a chance.
GM Sandman, GM Zhao, Sergio. Yeah, good. Cool, man. You know what? We got a bunch of stuff that we need to do today. Honestly, eyes were not super on the greater NFT market yesterday as we were, working on lots of stuff, trying to keep the pack engaged, all of that stuff. So we're gonna have just a chill stream here. I might turn the music down, but maybe we'll just leave it on. It feels like a good Friday vibe. I'm feeling the music. We'll still do the run through of a couple of things, and we'll just engage in the chat. Sergio's saying Santa Catarina. Not my no, geographically I don't know where that is, but it sounds lovely.
It would be St. Catherine in English.
Well, we have a St. Catherine's just down the road from us,
See?
but I'm assuming it's not the same place.
Is that near the beach, Sergio, or is that inland a little more? Like I said, I have family in Sao Paulo. They're actually close to the beach. No, wait. They live in Sao Paulo, and then they have a beach.
Island. Nice.
Ooh, island? Ooh.
Hell yeah. Island. Do the Island boys.
Yeah, coming to visit.
Man, those guys really had a fall from grace, too, eh? They were everywhere for a hot minute. And,
wow.
So kind of went the Hard Rock Nick way, really.
Yeah. Someone tweeted yesterday, I miss seeing Hard Rock Nick in every other tweet.
The Hard Rock Nick meta is firmly over, I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm sure he's doing all right. He's the richest man in the world, as he said.
I noticed something. Over the last month, people stopped laughing. There was a lot less laughing in NFTs. WGMI.io may want to rethink their website.
You just change it to PGMI, like probably going to make it.
Here is what I will contend. That HFSP has done more for crypto marketing-wise than WGMI ever would. WGMI is complacency. WGMI is laziness. WGMI is, we're all going to make it. I don't got to fucking do anything. Have fun staying poor is get your fucking ass up and work. HFSP. Okay? That made a lot more people rich than WGMI. WGMI makes people lazy. HFSP, motherfuckers. Get out there. Nobody cares. Work harder.
Mic drop. MNMI Illuminati might not make it. That sounds good. MNMI.
Sure. Yeah.
MNMI. Yeah, you got it. Hermano, you want to get Nick to talk with us? Yeah, I mean, go right ahead. I'm sure he was busy when I sent the DM off a couple months ago, but I would love to chat with him at least about his experiences of taking over a project that went through all of that. I find it very fascinating.
Hard Rock Nick. After what we were just talking about, I was like,
no, that would be awesome too. If you guys know Hard Rock Nick, I'd love to chat
get
with
him
that
on
dude.
The show.
No, I mean, we all know what happened with Caprix. They actually did end up getting delisted off OpenSea due to the Lego kind of style of them. But this guy, Nick, took the project over. Hermano is actually a part of it. I'm just, I have checked in and looked at what you guys are doing. It's interesting, and I'm glad that you guys are still working on it, especially for the community there. The dynamics of taking something over like that and the conversations behind the scene, I think, are just absolutely fascinating. I would love to dig a little bit deeper into that. So hopefully, maybe that would be a good conversation. Antebellum Genesis Land, yeah, I have that pulled up as well. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still trying to get a grasp on what it is, but they look fantastic, and the white paper looks amazing too. They've clearly spent the time to make something like easy to read and visually appealing. So I'm gonna check that out, and maybe if you guys have some more intel on Antebellum Genesis Land, hit me up. I know that this is a project that people have been excited about. On that note, GM Corey, that's Shiggy. Oh, Shiggy, my dude, what's going on? Free market, hit the drums. GM Degens, and welcome to episode 108 of the AM Morning Show. It is April the 8th. It is Friday. It is very exciting. This week has been great. Some volume coming back into the NFT marketplace. Things are looking up. There's some good signs out there. Crypto went on a little bit of a run, pulled back a little bit, but things are looking healthy going into this weekend. And I'm here for it. I think that April, towards the tail end of it, is going to get a lot of fun. I think that we're going to look back on this little period as just a little blip, kind of like November was too. It came as fast as it went, and here we are, completing our first week in April. Free market, how are you doing this morning?
Fabulous.
Good, as always. Thursday was good. How did it treat you? I mean, obviously it was interesting from the Star Wolves perspective for sure, but leading up to that, we had a great Spaces, gave away some Generative Wolves. Tropics hosted a great party. We
got to play the Hearts game, Shoot Your Shot, which we love playing Shoot Your Shot. I think everybody had a good time with it. We managed to get through everybody in the room. I fell asleep essentially on stage. I woke up a few hours later. I have been on a weird sleep schedule, guys. Launching a project is demanding of your time, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But every once in a while, my body goes, "Nope, time for sleep." Ding!
Yeah, it's so true. There is typically just like your baseline level of stress just kind of elevates substantially, and you especially for myself, somebody who typically has no problem sleeping, now it's like I find myself being like, I just need a power nap or something. And but yeah, we're in the home stretch. Obviously, a bunch of the reveal did get delayed, which we all feel horrible about. Definitely not a route that we wanted to go, but a route that we needed to go, because since the onset of this project, this is about quality, and this is about respecting the NFT community and the community that we've grown, and you guys, all of that. And we didn't it wasn't quite there yet, but I mean, I know Charlie, you, NVO, Scott, myself, Apesies, like everyone's been working around the clock, the mods in there, and the vibe in the pack chat was just absolutely incredible through all of it. I mean, this is a group of people that are just absolute kings. I gotta say it. It makes me so excited, and a lot of people that I think I'm going to be proud to call my friend as we continue to engage and grow and get to know each other. So on that note, let's get into the crypto market, and we will talk about kind of nothing at all, if I'm going to be honest with you. We have been sideways for the past 2 days. No real bumps. I mean, this is about as tight a consolidation range as you can get for a 2-day span. We were really just bouncing in between 3,200 and like 3,280, and there it is. ETH is Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there. Things are looking okay, though. I mean, that resistance looks like it got tested twice here. It dipped below very briefly, which you kind of outlined yesterday was a-okay as long as it's not sustained. It kind of tackled it again. We might be heading towards it one more time, and I think if we hold, the weekend could be pretty fun, at least in crypto. Of course, ETH is sitting at 32.27 right now. Bitcoin sitting at 43,300, basically the exact same as we were talking about yesterday. Nothing up or down more than a percent there.
Well,
Some of the altcoins, the lower tier coins, have seen higher volatility in that sense, but the OGs there kind of just holding their own right now.
Yeah, and everything has had a pullback. Crypto still feels correlated to macro markets. The S&P 500 rallied from about 4,100 up to 4,600, give or take. It's now pulled back 38% of that move, retraced 38% on the fibs. That's pretty healthy. We could go down to about 4,400 there, which is another about 2%, which translates to maybe another 5 or 6% in crypto if the market does roll over a little bit over the next couple of days. Still very, very, very healthy consolidation. If we lost that 4,400 level, we would probably start to have to reassess how bullish we are. As long as we are consolidating in this area, if I had to guess, it looks like we're about to build one of those rising W's off of this move. That's going to take probably the next 30 days to play out at least for that rising W. So I don't expect us to break over the highs here for about a month, but we will drift back up towards the highs if the traditional market can consolidate in a healthy way without either geopolitical or inflation basically rearing its head and causing risk off. I could see crypto decoupling a bit and allowing ETH to rally closer to 3,800, even while markets do not get above the high they made earlier or later in March.
Yeah, very exciting stuff. We'll see what the weekend brings. Obviously, sometimes like going into Friday night, the traditional markets close, and sometimes things can get pretty nutty in crypto over the weekends, as it is obviously a 24/7 market. But we will be watching that closely, and we'll reconvene on Monday to figure out what actually happened over the weekend. A little bit of news coming out, and this is just one because I kind of just want to say thank you to Kevin O'Leary, who's been echoing something that I've been saying a lot. And I'm not going to say it's like a totally original opinion of mine or whatever. But, Kevin O'Leary, who used to be pretty not anti-crypto, but not participating in it, has come out and said Bitcoin mining is going to save the world. The former no-coiner believes U.S. stablecoins will become the first reserve currency of the earth. That's an interesting take, given all of the stable coins shenanigans that have been going on. Sometimes they feel like a little bit of cards, and there's lots of audits and blah 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 blah.
It's so generous.
So I'm not going to say that I'm agreeing with the stablecoin take. However, the U.S. currency is kind of ripe for some disruption in terms of the global economy. I do know that is kind of on the table. Back to the actual saving the world element of it. This has been something that I've believed for a long time, and why proof of work mechanisms aren't exactly as bad as they're made out to be. Sure, they are very energy intensive. Sure, when you put a carbon footprint on top of that energy usage, it looks pretty poor. People will say like, oh, it's got more energy usage than this company, or it's got more energy usage than this country, and those numbers can be true. However, a lot of energy is just blown off and wasted anyways. That's the one thing. More towards this article, as I've been saying, there's so much profit potential in mining Bitcoin and in mining Ethereum, although that is probably not long for this world, that the impetus on these miners is to use clean, renewable, sustainable energy that's cheap. Solar, wind, thermal, all of this stuff is just in huge abundance in this world. And you know, mining a Bitcoin, or a block, if you're lucky enough to actually mine a block and you spit out however much is in it right now, I think it's like 2.5 or something. I can't remember the halving cycles off the top of my head. It's not just like, boom, wow, I made $120,000 in profit or 250,000. A lot of energy on your side had to go into that, and it reduces the profits. The margins on Bitcoin mining is not always massive, especially when the price starts to drop lower and lower. And a lot of people will correlate the price of Bitcoin to the mining dynamics. It behooves them to use real cheap sustainable energy. As Bitcoin continues to grow, more of that technology can be adopted. There will be political pressure to use more nuclear. Nuclear is something that people do the NIMBY thing a lot. Not in my backyard. We don't need it. I saw what happened in Chernobyl. But nuclear, as of like right this minute, is like the most like clean and abundant energy that we have access to. And typically now they're coming offline as opposed to being utilized more, because there is just this this fear about what nuclear energy is. Now there are better options out there as the technology goes on, but when these people have political sway, they have big amounts of money, this can really springboard the adoption of more of these technologies. And I do think it's really important, and I do think it's really important that somebody like Kevin O'Leary, who has a platform, is coming out and saying that, in the face of Elon, who I'm sure in his heart of hearts knows what's actually going on, but being the CEO of a public company can't really say it. Like there's still that, especially being a electric vehicle company. I'm not sure how take you have on this, but we've definitely spoken about it before.
So I am not the biggest fan of Kevin O'Leary in general, but
yeah, I agree with that too. I wasn't like, yeah, my boy.
I find this take quite brilliant. This is something I've said for years about various topics. Okay, I am just as concerned about the environmental impact of the dirty things we do as anybody else. But I try to approach things as a pragmatist. And I understand that human beings are not going to slow down progress for something intangible that they can't touch immediately. Whether you should be able to get your brain around it or not, I still accept human nature for what it is. And understanding how human beings act and what motivates human beings, the only way you are ever going to get the world, society, however you want to say it, to switch over to clean energy was to make it profitable. That was the only way. Profit is what motivates people. Okay. Mm-hmm. There is a theory that crypto is just the monetization of electricity. That's all it is. You're just monetizing electricity. What better motivation for clean, cheap, plentiful energy than absolute profit? Than the idea that you can literally profit on this is a ridiculous take. I wholeheartedly agree with. I think Kevin O'Leary hit the nail on the head here, and crazy brilliant take from somebody who, again, I've never been the hugest fan of, but I will shout him out here. This is right up my alley. I feel like this is something I've been saying for a long time, and I'm happy somebody else said it.
There's this like weird idea that like all of the stuff that we've done leading up to this was like something that how could we, like gas, oil, fuels, and all of this stuff, like everything that goes into any kind of technology is how much energy you have available to you. And that is just like the fact. The ability to produce and harness energy was one of the biggest springboards in human history. right? The ability to apply energy, transfer energy, doing all of this stuff. But it was never going to, you never were going to be able to make these leaps over certain technologies. We had to use fossil fuels in order to get to the point where we could produce enough energy to technologically, feasibly create proper solar panels, proper nuclear plants, and all of that stuff. These are steps that have to be taken. And sure, it was wasteful. It's hard on the environment. Nobody here is saying that, like, yeah, burn it all, it's all good. Like, that's not the thesis here. But this is progress driven, and as FMC said, like, we are a progress focused society. That's just how we operate. That's how we've gone from living in caves and doing cave drawings to trading digital NFTs on a blockchain, right? So this kind of progress will continue to do great things for environmental concerns. I completely agree with Kevin O'Leary too. And it's hard because it goes against everything you think. Oh, more energy, bad, right? No, like, it's how we're going to get that energy, how profitable it will be. Profit's not bad. Profit is a great mechanism to move things forward.
And I always said, and this was before crypto entered my life, that the way to get towards clean energy was to get dirtier first. I mean, technology was what was going to lead us out of this. And the ideas by most of the people who were trying to solve climate change was to slow down progress, was to slow down the rate at which technology could advance. That, I know it's hard to get your head around, but we needed to get dirtier before we got clean. It was what was going to lead to getting us clean. So that, that was, I guess, this is what I've always said, and it really fits in with what he's pointing out here. So I love it. I really love it.
Amazing. Speaking of Bitcoin, before we move on, but always a cool news to see, UFC fighters can now receive bonuses in Bitcoin. The Ultimate Fighting Championship will soon pay fighters bonuses in Bitcoins thanks to a partnership with Crypto.com. The exposure continues to be everywhere, and we start to see more and more wealthy individuals adopt this. I didn't pull the article up, but I actually saw that there was like a Mexican billionaire that 60% of his liquid was sitting in Bitcoin, which is probably a gigantic bag. And part of me is wondering how much of that was made through Bitcoin. But regardless, some of the smartest, wealthiest, or talented people in the world continue to drive adoption here. That's exciting. Not a huge UFC fan myself, but I will watch it if it's on.
Every time I see this, I think to myself, this must be the brilliant negotiation of Coinbase, right? Because they must be sending agents out to these large organizations to negotiate these deals. Because think about it. First of all, where is the UFC going to get this Bitcoin? Okay, to pay their player, they're going to buy it from Coinbase. Second of all, how is there? Anyone with 2 brain cells is going to quickly take that Bitcoin and change it into ETH. And where?
I knew that was coming.
They're going to do it on Coinbase. Coinbase makes money twice. They are out here fucking killing it. If you're not invested in Coinbase stock, you're out of your mind. They know exactly what they're doing here.
Well, this is Crypto.com, but I'm sure Coinbase is doing that.
All their worthless Bitcoin to as many organizations as possible, and then they're making money when people change it over to ETH. It's the greatest scheme I've ever seen in my life. Shout out Coinbase. This is man.
You got it. And then lastly, but not least, eToro, who has been known to dabble in some NFTs. They have some punks. They have some Bored Apes. They've been picking stuff up. They are announcing a $20 million creator fund for NFTs that is open for anybody to apply to. If you are a burgeoning artist or developer, or you have a project that you're working on, could be something to look into. eToro very NFT friendly, and they are throwing some money into the ecosystem now. eToro is definitely a name that I've seen around forever. I've never used the platform myself, but I do know that they are bullish on, no pun intended, on NFTs. So that's exciting to see them too.
Yep, eToro.
Don't have any deep commentary on that, but I just thought it was interesting, and I know that there are people out there in the audience and stuff that listen that do have projects of their own. So, big news coming out of the NFT space: Cozomo de Medici. I said that so weirdly. Anyways, allegedly Snoop Dogg does some splashing with a 310 ETH purchase of Deekay Ocean's Life and Death. This is not the first Deekay purchase that Cozomo has made, and I've said it a couple of times on this show. Deekay is a absolutely wonderful artist and animator. His work just has so much charm, so much character, and is so fun to watch. Just even in the loops that he does. This is a really cool piece of art. Cozomo is willing to spend $1 million on it, and I constantly say DK's Let's Walk is it's a bigger project. They're not entirely one of ones. You can there might be 40 or 50 in the one animation or whatnot, but DK is somebody that is going to be working on a generative collection, and when that happens, pay attention, be in their Discord. It's going to be a big project. I mean, this guy is an influential person in the NFT space, and some of the biggest names are willing to drop serious money on owning his one-of-one pieces. And I've seen this thing loop like 3 or 4 times just since we've been talking about it, and I love it. It's so goddamn good.
Yeah, it looks good. Gotta say.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, go if you. I did follow DK. I must have accidentally hit that button. Go check it out. Jump into his Discord and keep an eye out for that generative collection. I don't think he's in any kind of hurry to launch it, but it's going to be a big one.
That's a sign of quality art too.
What patience and
not being in a hurry. I've heard that line a lot.
Can't imagine what you're referring to, but yeah, no, for sure. Man, look at this. 10 years of animation. This is good stuff. Go check it out if you're not a DK fan. I think you will be if you dig deep enough into it. This is the other one that Cozomo has. DK, not DK, sorry. Deeze, you said this to me earlier. Deeze is selling a ringer, liquidating it, and if you have some extra liquid ETH, he has put it up there for 104.2 ETH. You're buying this free market.
Yeah. Yes.
No.
I
actually brought this up because I just wanted. I know you're a huge generative art fan. Yeah. I know that Ringers has been something that you've always looked at as like a really historic legacy kind of piece of or a collection in this NFT world. And I kind of actually just wanted you to break down why you think Ringers by Dimitri is so important.
Ringers and Ringers specifically was what really got me into generative art. It's what really got me deep on art blocks. And when I got into art blocks, they were worthless, and they had that crazy run up into the summer, and now they're worthless again. I do expect it to be another generative summer. I have a little theory that when managers and hedge funds go out to the Hamptons for the summer and they lay around, something they like to do is buy fancy digital art and show it off to their friends. And besides that, I just think that it's cyclical, right? And we went through a major art one-of-one cycle, and then it was PFPs for the last 6 months. And now I think generative is going to have its place again. I think the underlying trend is always cream rising to the top, quality rising to the top, and low effort projects falling off along the way. When we say it goes from PFP trend to generative art trend, it doesn't mean nothing works. In fact, we could all probably think of 5 or 6 generative art projects that just popped up randomly over the last 6 months and actually worked. They didn't go to like art blocks level, mania.
No.
But they were
Wavelengths was one I think recall.
Yeah, they were
doing really well.
There was a few that were decent little cooks, and I don't know if they held since I don't think any gen art has been able to hold its floor. You'll see that with PFPs too. If we go into the summer and it's less of a PFP market, that doesn't mean there isn't going to be 5 or 6 PFP projects that blow the fuck up. It just means I've been saying for a while, I think generative art's going to have a moment. Deeze listed one of his nice ringers for 104 ETH. That actually makes me think it's not the time yet. The moment that this moves, it'll have been the bottom and everything's going to rocket. So thank you for your service, Deeze. You always need that one person to just capitulate.
Nice purchase by him though. 5 ETH.
Yeah,
a year ago. Yeah, no, I mean this is the kind of art that you see on the wall of a hedge fund manager or a big law firm or something. I love it. It's hard to say which ones and when. Obviously, the historic ones will definitely have a moment. I mentioned Wavelengths. That project actually, in the face of it, has done pretty well, even though it's a rip-off of our beloved Harporis by Block Art. But yeah, these have, I guess, still stuck around to 1 ETH floor, which is pretty great for a project. And there's
he has some volume on punching for holders too. So.
Oh, Caleb Johnson does?
Yeah, he continues to deliver. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Well,
he's a personality. I think that's one reason people remember when you buy art, you're buying the artist brand
yes, yeah,
as much as anything, and he has a great brand. So.
Cool. Have to keep an eye out on that and dig a little bit deeper, figure out what's going on with that. Wavelength is a great looking collection too, though. That's one that I would definitely be watching out for and holding if I had any. Saw this mint going down again. You'll have to forgive me. We've been pretty busy over the last couple of days, so I'm kind of just waking up in the morning and trying to catch up on the previous day's events. Gummies Gang went down this morning. Project minted out. Lots of followers on Twitter.
Doodles palette, ballsy.
Yeah, I did catch that right away. I knew you would too. This is cute meta PFP.
It looks less doodly when you go down to the previews. It's just that like header image they had. You got to stay away from the pastel rainbows, everybody. Just for a little bit. We'll come back to them. Just give the pastel rainbows a break, and then everyone will be really happy when they come back.
Ooh, I do like this one though. That's it reminds me of it reminds me. It is with the superlative Secret Society.
I've always loved
those were great. That is a great combination of like PFP and generative art.
Hey, that could be a good play into our Jenny Art Summer. Ooh, could we call it that? Could we call it Jenny Art Summer?
Jenny
Art
we could Jenny Art Summer. I'm in.
All right, Jenny Art Summer.
Let's see what's been going on with
the most famous influencers start tweeting that. Remember where they heard it. Just saying.
I'm in a rabbit hole kind of mood here while we're just hanging out. Wavelengths has a free mint for holders coming soon called Orbs. Cool. Orbs, definitely probably nothing to do with marbles. Would it free market?
No.
I kid.
They're related to Zorbs, the first mint of the new year. Do you remember Zorbs? Did you mint your Zorbs?
No, I don't remember that.
It was the first mint of 20. This was their claim to fame. The first mint of 2022.
Oh, okay.
Free. They were free.
I was drunk.
They're orbs, and they're cool. Zorbs.
Superlative Secret Society sitting at 0.06. That could be a tasty little look. We talk about projects that have a history and have a moment. I mean, guys, these weren't nothing. You know, they didn't cross into like a crazy 1 ETH threshold or something, but they saw some volume. They had some time.
Yes, someone remembered Zorbs. I knew it.
A couple of them still being picked up. I could just hop into the Discord after and just poke around, see what's going on. Anyways, back to the gummies.
The Discord. Huh? You don't need to go to the Discord. Look at it. It's good art. You buy it. It's good art.
No, for sure. But I just, I have in the past been guilty of like buying something without doing enough, like just like a minimal amount of diligence, and then everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that project rugged. It's fucking dead." And I guess like you said, once it's in the hands of the community, it's free. It's out there.
Well, I mean, I think,
But still, you know, it's nice when there's somebody behind the scenes still at least fostering a community or engaging.
right, and I think communities discount that. You ask the devs to do something, but being being an active and loud community member does a lot for projects too, and we see that all the time. I mean, I would go point you to unofficial spaces on Twitter. Yesterday, there was an alien friend slash feline fiend. I think it was feline fiend. Don't quote me. But, feline fiends, one of the hotter collections out there right now. And it's because their community is passionate, loud, out there doing spaces. And I thought that cut both ways in the sense that when I say, oh, even if the project was a rug, now it's in the hands of the community. It's up to you to do something. Well, hell, even when it's not, it's up to you to do something as the community. Go out, being passionate about your projects, about the projects you own. That is why a lot of these communities become successful.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I'm not gonna keep doing it, but Hermano is part of something like that too. That project did get rugged, and it's crazy every time I jump in that Discord. There's still a lot of people in there that want something to happen with it. On that note, let's move on to Antebellum Games or Antebellum Genesis Land that dropped yesterday. Started clicking around on this one. This is the your traditional standard floating block of land here, but the artwork is fantastic, at least from the sneak peeks and the pre-reveal stuff that I've seen. I started clicking around. I started looking at their website. Really clean, slick looking site.
Is it 3D spinning land? You know us. Look at that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look 3D actually. It looks like they've actually like hand painted or something. But yeah, I'm assuming what pops out will end up being 3D. I'll let this kind of roll while we're talking about it.
That's good. You're leaning into the polygon right off the bat. That's nice. It's it can get pricey to play the games without the polygon. Were you waving to me?
No, I was just having some like weird problem with my camera, so I was just seeing like if the movement was
but maybe you ate an edible before the show.
Like, oh man, oh yeah, see, that's doing it again.
Man.
No, this is a project that has really put some thought and some quality into at least the marketing side of it. They do have some more stuff coming. It is going to be a P2E game. As Free Market said, going into Polygon right away, it can be quite a trick to have to make that choice after the fact. So, it looks like they're just committing to it right off the hop. But what I'm interested in doing is actually digging into their white paper a little bit. Look, I have mixed feelings because it looks great. I think it's probably going to be easy to read, but it is very wordy. 44 pages is daunting for anyone to actually spend the time in doing so. I guess when you have a 44-page white paper, you've probably got a lot of depth going on. You've got a lot of stuff, but I would really love to see projects starting to condense a little bit there too. That was one of the big criticisms of Raid Party was, yeah, it looks like there's a lot here, but how the fuck do we dissect it all? So yeah, I'm gonna spend some time reading it. It looks really, really good. If you guys have any more information about Antebellum, or you got a take on it, or you feel good or bad about it, like let us know, please. They're selling, they're moving.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought like the way that people, and they said it about Raid Party, the way that people approach these games is like they want to dive into the white paper and figure out. When you buy a video game from the store, do you read the instruction booklet? Like if you read the instruction booklet, it would probably be very, very hard to understand just from reading, maybe, or just be a lot to put. Most of us learn by like doing the game or by playing the game, and then maybe reference the instruction manual if there's something you don't understand or it's tough, right? And that's why I think if a white paper seems complicated, I don't think it means that the game would necessarily. Like I said, I mean, I think Raid Party, once you get in there and start doing it, it's pretty straightforward. There's a few variables to understand, and then you know what you're doing. And I think that's most games. So don't let complicated white papers scare you off.
I've always really been a fan of the 3-2-1 kind of pyramid where you start broad, okay? Like you just put out something that, and you don't have to call it that or explicitly call it like a countdown or something, but like you want to put out the 3 points that you really need to know about this game just to jump in, just very digestible. 2 things that you're going to look for after, just a little bit more advanced knowledge, and one piece of like this is how deep it goes, right? Just something that you can really digest in 2-3 minutes that make you go, oh, this seems simple but deep, right? And that's kind of what you said with Raid Party. Huge white paper, long time to really dig into it, but once you load that game up and you click, you're like, oh, okay, this makes total sense. Antebellum's probably going to be like that, but still, it's good marketing to be able to get out there and concisely kind of state your piece about what's going on. So yeah, keep an eye out on this. I'm excited. I'm gonna put it on my list of reading to do on the weekend and learn a little bit more about it, because it seems like there is definitely something there.
On your list.
Thoughts on Loveless City? I think some of those abnormal genes are dope. Oh, I'm not sure what we're talking about there right now, man. I apologize. You wanted to give somebody a shout out who's putting out a great collection out there too, New Notes. Do you want to talk a little bit about this?
Huge shout out to New Notes. It was half sold out last time.
And by the way, this is not like a paid thing or anything like that. This is just one of Free Market's boys. He's a big supporter of him and just wants to give him an acknowledgement.
Yeah. Huge shout out. He is an urban explorer. He does things similar to, maybe if you've heard of Drifter shoots. He risks his life and his freedom to get these shots. And
this is terrifying to me, man.
Striking to me.
Oh.
I love his work. I talk about, what makes good art, right? Art is something that makes you feel, okay? It doesn't even matter what that feeling, good art can make you cry, laugh, be angry, whatever. This art makes you feel. And that is just why I wanted to display it for you guys. I think photography is having its moment. We talked about last year that it was going to, and it's very obvious it now is. So go check out New Notes collection. He does a spaces every week for photography on Twitter. Follow him. This guy is world class, and I believe his work is going to be very, very valuable one day. So you want to talk about one of one season? Well, there you go.
This is terrifying. Yeah, I mean, photography is always something that people are talking about as is going to have its moment. Photography and music. I think at some point this year we're going to be discussing it pretty heavily and whatnot. This is great looking stuff, and yeah, I wish him all of the best. I was also just clicking on here, not to completely change the subject, but buy with card. When did OpenSea do this? That's not always been there. That's new. Buy with card? Have you always been able to buy your NFTs on OpenSea?
It's regional. It may be rolling out in a regional. I mean, I've heard people talk about it before.
Yeah, I did see it pop up too, but I maybe I just had it in my mind that it was Coinbase NFT or something. But I was just clicking through that and I was like, oh, huh. There's a path that I don't want to go down.
I actually don't think it's going to be a big deal.
I just mean I personally don't want to go down it.
No. What I meant is I don't think people are going to go. I don't think people are going to buy NFTs with credit cards the same way. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I think people look at the US dollar amount when they buy with a credit card.
Yeah, well, yeah, you have no other choice but to look at.
Yeah, I don't.
That's going to put your credit.
It's only in Canada or your area because I don't have it on my.
Casino chips for the casino chips for the magic internet money. I think I know what you're saying there. Yes. Bolundi asking thoughts on whitelist over allocation. Seems most projects launching have their allow lists over allocated. We had a pretty good discussion yesterday about where this is all going, and in the end, I do think allow lists are going to be a lot smaller, and then more things will be done via raffle. Again, pre-mint was a thing that I've always thought is just such a great service, and again, I'm only just saying that because every time I use it, I think it's great, and sometimes you win, sometimes you don't, but at least you can assume that it's being done fairly. And I also do like the fact that it kind of checks your liquidity to see if you have enough to mint it, because I think so often people will just get on the allow list for everything. Sometimes aren't liquid enough for it, or just have no intention of minting it. I think that was the why the over allocation kind of came into play. But then you want to talk about how over allocated, and then you're just kind of creating a little mini internal gas war or FOMO rush within the people who are already getting it. And depending on how over allocated you are, if it mints out in the allow list phase and there's people left on the sidelines, it will leave a very salty taste in their mouth. It's great to be a full-time degen. It's great to be able to, do stuff around the clock and whatnot. But, if you're somebody that has a 9 to 5 or more kind of job, and you can't just take the time out to go mint something because it's launching, even though you spent the time in the Discord to get the allow list. Maybe it was just through engagement. Maybe it was just through being a great community member. Maybe you, made a Hard Rock Nick video, whatever. Okay. It sucks to want to mint something, put some effort into being able to ensure your spot on there, and then still not have that opportunity because they over allocate an allow list. Say, mint is going down at 2 p.m. on a Thursday afternoon. Get there if you can. It's a tough look, right? And I'm not even just saying this because Star Wolves went in a completely opposite direction than that, but I think it's a very short-term solution to a problem that shouldn't exist or doesn't need to exist. That's my at least take on it. Free market. I don't know if you want to build on that.
No, I agree with your take.
I think the allow list meta got so strong and so fervent on Discords. I mean, people were in hundreds of Discords trying to get on every single allow list. They were never going to mint all of them. You do get a loss rate, which is totally expected, and that's okay. Nobody is obligated to spend their money on anything they don't want, regardless of whether they have an allow list or not. But it did make that meta kind of shifted into over allocated. And then once you get like certain over allocated, it might as well just be public because you just have all these people fighting over it anyways. There are better ways. We're going to see it continue to change. We're going to see it as projects get bigger, as the market gets bigger, more and more people enter it. These, like I said, these 10,000 collections are going to seem small in the future. And the only reasonable way to allocate a drop of 50,000 or something, or we saw Moonbirds do it after, Gary Vee and AJ Vaynerchuk burned $26 million in gas. They're just like, you know what? It's raffle time. Okay. And that's completely cool. So you're going to see more of that. And that's my probably long answer to a short question that you asked there.
And yeah, strictly esports, Drift is the man. That's crazy. Used to climb. I know.
Wow.
What he does is fucking nuts. He is going to be on Fractional Art with Deeze at 1 p.m. Eastern today.
Oh, that's cool.
So, shout out to Drift and what he does. Yeah, it's just some of the best art I've ever seen in my life. And I get queasy every time I see it, but I don't know. I feel like that's a good thing. There's something, it moves me. I mean, what else can you ask art to do, right?
Yeah, I could do with all of those cityscapes without the person standing on the ledge. That's where I'm at with that.
Where my vans go.
Akuma continues to do really well. 1.23 floor, slowly climbing up there. Saw a 30 ETH sale yesterday. That is a cool, just over $100,000.
What rank was it? Did you see?
You know what? I actually didn't check that because shout out to one of our AM.
Oh, it's a 101 though, right? It looks like it only has one property down there, so it must be a 101.
Oh, and that is what he got too, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So I guess this would be
they're
on par.
probably all equal since they're 101.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
One of our AM AlphaMint Degen Dojo members pulled one of the 101s. He said it was number 2. I think they're all equal. I don't know.
Probably. We haven't checked the sniper tools, and we don't know how it plays into their universe or lore or whatever's going on. Yeah, where my Vans go, just a world class collection. I want to say was at a 50 ETH floor last time I checked. 45.9 ETH floor on the Where My Vans Go. And Drift is going to be on Fractional Art because he's doing an open edition. If you guys don't know, he has his own website. His Discord is opening up. He's going to be doing an open edition. That's why the media push. He'll be on with Farouk and Andrew Wang tomorrow as well. So yeah, Drift's about to have a moment here, and I expect his floor to get to 100 ETH this year easily.
Yeah, it's not like photography isn't in demand or it hasn't had its meta. I mean, we've seen the Twin Flames, the Justin Aversano thing. Like, the sales on that are absolutely nuts. Dude, close some tabs. This is all the stuff that I got to show on it. Cambo, chill, bro. I got real sensitive about my tabs there. There are photography collections that have absolutely crushed it. Obviously, Where My Vans Go, one of them. And it's only a matter of time before a couple of these just shoot into an absolute new stratosphere. So I'm very excited because I think that he's going to be one of them. He's a well-deserving recipient of it. Let's look to wrap this up a little bit. We'll finish off with the Shinsekai. Some mint drama went down. They had to pause the mint. That was loopable. Some people were abusing that, of course, and that's kind of the name of the game. The blockchain and the smart contract are the rules that are set out, and people just play by them however they can. Shinsekai also making some waves. People saying very, very close to CloneX, and you can absolutely see it just in the look of it. However, we talk about Azuki, Murray, Kiwami, Everai. I mean, they all have differences and all of that stuff. But there does seem to be some clear intent to capture some of the runoff that was coming down from Azuki. And we always see that. We saw it with Doodles. Doodles last year, a crazy run. Next thing you know, there's always Doodles inspired projects. Even if it's not straight Doodles derivatives or Doodles mashups, you use the color palette. We just talked about that with the Gummy Bears or whatever that project, Gummy Gang. And now maybe CloneX was always due for one. And here we are looking at Shinsekai. It is doing very well. And it's hard because some of them are strikingly close to CloneX, but I guess you could say the same for Azuki and Kiwami, or Azuki and Murray and stuff like that, right? These are styles that take cues from one another, and maybe it's not a bad thing. This project is being very well received so far. It's pre-reveal, but we're looking at almost 5,000 ETH in volume traded. We're looking at a 0.545 floor. I'll see if the R2 curse is still in full effect by refreshing it. But there's absolutely, definitely demand for this 10K PFP collection. And people are excited about it. I mean, it's hard. You can't look at this and not think that it's at least heavily inspired by CloneX. But what's your thought on this?
I actually like the way they look, and people. I don't know if people say looks like in a necessarily negative connotation, but CloneX is hot right now, right? And as far as I'm concerned, they're the only ones who who have nailed 3D, really, right? I think 3D is really difficult for a profile picture project. And of course, CloneX is a lot more than that. But, for now, it's still a profile picture project. It's basically what people can use their clone for. And very few 3D projects nail the balance between, obviously you're going to have more detail in 3D, but you also need it to not have that detail lost in the small bubble you display it in. So CloneX, in my opinion, nailed it. And whatever you think about how some of them look and whatever, I think that all of them look at least good in the PFP, and that is underserved in our market. Like I said, people say it looks like something, and maybe that's, it looks like something and that's bad, or it's a derivative. I think there's not enough CloneX to go around. Most people can't afford it, and the market's very hungry for another good 3D project. And it looks like, and again, I'm only basing this on the art. I know that there was controversy in the way it was launched and the team handling it and all that stuff. And, of course you should be critical, and of course you should ask something of your devs and all that stuff, but that doesn't mean anything about the long-term prospects of it. I mean, look, CloneX was the biggest fumble of all time. Do you know how much FUD? Was there? CloneX is a automatic blue chip now. Everyone's so, of course, CloneX. Everyone's so fucking sure CloneX. Do you know how much FUD surrounded CloneX before and after the launch? It obviously, you want,
speaking of, man, holy,
yeah, come on. And look, obviously you want launches to go smoothly and all that type of stuff. But look, if the art is good here and you liked the roadmap, don't go full FUD because the launch has been rocky. See what they do with it. Look, if they continue to fuck up, you got to do what you do. But I think the art here is decent. And if you knew something about the project and liked it before, I wouldn't let a fumbled launch completely deter you. It happens all the time, and teams recover all the time. And this looks like they put some time into this, so I don't think they're just gonna fold here.
No, my biggest concern about this project would be we're going to find out how protective Nike and CloneX are of their IP, and I'm trying to find like similarities, and I do definitely see some. I don't know how much can actually be applied to it. Like I had the CloneX project pulled up. Definitely don't have any rights to own 3D glasses, but I was trying to look really closely as to like, is it the same assets? It's not. So they've definitely spent some time designing this stuff. They actually do look pretty good. Again, I'm going to say this with the same kind of asterisks as I said with the CloneX project, is like, these are the handpicked, ones that they want to show as the best of the best. This is their best foot forward. My criticism of CloneX has always been that the floors do not look good. And now that being said, they are 20 ETH. So kudos to you, even if you own a floor. It's not meant to be FUD. It's not meant to be a slap in the face or whatever. But like, I just look at the buy now page, and I just don't personally think that they look good. You look at the most expensive ones with higher amounts of detail and stuff like that. Fantastic. This project is going to be tasked with the same challenge. What do the general ones look like? How much, intricate detail? How unique are they? How, if you're chatting in a Discord with people all rocking these profile pictures, can you tell them apart by their PFP? And I think that that's a very, very important component of this. I've said it a million times, but I'll say it again. It especially is true when you downscale something of a highly detailed 3D environment into that tiny little bubble. We're going to find out. So anyways, yeah, they've 5,000 ETH in volume is definitely substantial. 5.5 floor, nothing wrong there. Frick said, sometimes teams drop the ball, they stumble, things get messed up. But if you still believe in their underlying project, everything that they put out up until then, and you watch how they handle it from from now, it doesn't need to be the end of the world. Yes, and you are absolutely correct. CloneX was Wow, if you weren't around during CloneX or part of any communities, especially if the communities had some CloneX holders and believers and some not, like there was a definite like, we told you so, and I was on that side of it too. I'm totally willing to eat shit here, but you know, some people held on. They believed. They said, well, you'll see. You guys aren't seeing the full picture here, and goddamn, they were right. So take every project that you invest in with that kind of outlook, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But when it works out, it can lead to really, really, really great things. So Shinsekai, keep an eye out for it. This is a cool pre-reveal screen too. It's very hypnotic. On
and people, and the right
go ahead.
people were buying them. Last point: the right people were buying them. That's always a good sign.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, look at who is buying them is
Right.
always an incredible metric as well, right?
Yeah, I saw some of the smarter traders I know buying these, so that I think is
it's always key, man. Go where the smart money goes, right?
Yes.
On that note, we are sitting at an hour and 10 minutes. We are quickly approaching 11 a.m. I almost said p.m. My time zone's off there. What have you got going on today, my guy?
I have morning squeeze coming up in 20 minutes. And then we have Star Wolves. Then I'm right back into the Star Wolves melee. I'm going to have a smashing reveal today. And yeah, that'll be my day. So
yeah. I'm hoping I'm back home in time for that. I do have some family obligations that must not be missed. No backing out of that one. So got to participate. But I'll definitely have my phone on me and be watching and jumping in at every chance that I can. It is very exciting. Again, we appreciate all of the understanding that everyone has shown us and a lot of the love. It's been a heartwarming experience, if nothing else, right? Like it's so important to execute at a high level, but it's a minor stumble in what we like to believe is a long track record of success. So I don't know if you're reading the comments there, but maybe the jig is up. Waiting for it. Anyways, we're really excited for you guys to see. Well, I'm sorry, dude. I don't know who dropped that in the chat, but before we wrap it up, I will just say happy birthday to you, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
25 years old. Incredible stuff.
Thank you.
Okay. On that note, if you guys tuned in late, we just had a quick chill vibe session, left the music on, just kicking it. Lots of work ahead today. Lots of stuff to participate in. Crypto trading sideways. Kevin O'Leary likes Bitcoin mining, thinks it's going to save the world, and I think it's a great take. Listen in on that if you didn't, because I do think it's important. UFC fighters can take their bonuses in crypto. We talked about the Deekay purchase by Cozomo for $1 million. Great collection. Ringers, some generative art talk. We talked about Antebellum. Not super in depth. I'm not well versed in that ecosystem, but I'm excited to learn more about it. Gummies Gang Minted is doing okay today. We talked about some photography work, where my vans go. We talked about the high 30 ETH sale of Akuma. That project continues to kill it. And then we talked about Shinsekai. Couple of mint mishaps, but the floor remains strong at over half an ETH. And we broke down the sneak peek art a little bit, talked about its relationship to CloneX, and thinking it's going to be a-okay. On that note, guys, we love you so much. The show will be back on Monday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. As always, looking forward to this weekend. Free market, get us out of here, my friend.
Good luck at the tables,